It was a crisp Amsterdam morning when Quincy Promes stepped out of his matte black Mercedes, the smell of freshly brewed espresso spilling from the cafe on the corner. The air was cold enough to bite, but Quincy didn't mind. He was dressed to command attention. A tailored charcoal overcoat, turtleneck as smooth as silk, and a pair of limited edition Balenciaga boots that looked more like art than footwear. He wasn't heading to training. Not yet. Today his destination wasn't the pitch, but the showroom of QX Mode, his own small but growing fashion label. 1. The early spark football had always been his first love, but Quincy remembered vividly when fashion first caught his heart. He was 16, a wiry teenager training with the Ajax Academy, and every day felt like a test. The coaches wanted discipline, focus, and humility, not flash. But on the way to the training ground, Quincy would always stop by a boutique on Kalverstraat, gazing through the glass at the mannequins dressed in clean lines and daring colors. "Man, that's style," he'd whisper. He'd save his youth contract money to buy small pieces, a belt, a jacket, sometimes just a designer tee. To him, it wasn't vanity, it was expression. Fashion gave him what football couldn't, control over how he presented himself to the world. On the pitch, he was number 11, but off it, he was Quincy. Bold, unpredictable, stylish. 2. Between goals and garments. Years later, he was a star. Spartak Moscow, Sevilla, Ajax again. The name Proms was known across Europe. But every time he traveled, his suitcase was heavier with fabrics and samples than with boots. After training, while most of his teammates streamed movies or played FIFA, Quincy would scroll through streetwear blogs and sketch designs on napkins. Oversized hoodies, tracksuits with flair, jackets that felt like armor. "You're crazy, bro," his teammate Dusan Tadic once laughed, watching Quincy unbox a collection of vintage sneakers. "Crazy?" Quincy smirked. "Maybe, but look good. Play good. That's the rule, and maybe it was." He began mixing football and fashion in everything he did. His goal celebrations became small performances. A wink to the camera, a gesture that said style matters. 3. The birth of QX Mode. The idea for his brand came during the lockdown. Matches were halted, cities went quiet, and for the first time, Quincy found himself with time and a head full of ideas. He turned his Amsterdam apartment into a studio. Rolls of fabric leaned against the walls, sketches covered the kitchen table, and his mother's old sewing machine, the one she used to fix his first football kit, sat humming in the corner. "I want to make something real," Quincy told his designer friend Rafi over a video call. "Something that feels like me. Not just logos and hype, Amsterdam grit with Moscow fire." Rafi nodded. "So what's the name?" Quincy thought for a moment. Then he smiled. "Q times mode. Quincy times fashion. Because everything I touch, I want to multiply by style." Within months, they had samples. Streetwear with Dutch minimalism, black, tan, and deep red. Track suits that could walk a runway. Jackets that told stories. 4. The clash of passions. Balancing football and fashion wasn't easy. Training at Ajax demanded focus, discipline, and early nights. But QX Mode required creativity, late nights, and endless meetings. Some coaches raised eyebrows. "Quincy, your job is football," one warned after he appeared in GQ Netherlands wearing a QX Mode bomber jacket. Quincy nodded respectfully. But inside he disagreed. "My job," he thought, "is being the best version of myself. Football feeds my soul, fashion shows it." He started bringing elements of design to his team. He'd give teammates custom jackets, design travel gear for away games, even style photo shoots. Slowly, the skepticism turned into admiration. 5. The runway moment. 2 years later, Quincy stood backstage at Amsterdam Fashion Week. The crowd was buzzing. His name wasn't just on the team sheet anymore. It was on the marquee. The models lined up, the lights dimmed, and his debut collection, Urban Victory, was moments from walking the runway. Each outfit told a story. Mesh undershirts inspired by training gear, bomber jackets stitched with embroidered goal patterns, sneakers shaped like speed in motion. When the first beat dropped and the models stepped out, Quincy felt something he hadn't felt since scoring a hat trick, that same electric pulse. The applause that followed wasn't from fans in a stadium. It was from fashion critics, designers, and dreamers who saw his vision. Afterward, a reporter asked, "Quincy, do you think football and fashion belong together?" He grinned. "They already are. Every player walking into a stadium tunnel is walking a runway. We just didn't call it that before 6. Reflection. That night, he sat in his car, still wearing the QX mode trench coat that had become his signature piece. He thought about the boy who stared through boutique windows years ago. The one who dreamed of more than goals and trophies. He'd made it, not just as a footballer, but as a creator. He wasn't naive. He knew controversies, critics, and challenges came with fame. But here, in this quiet moment, he was proud. Football had given him discipline. Fashion had given him voice. He checked his phone. A message from Rafi read, "We did it, bro." From the pitch to the runway, Quincy smiled, typed back, "Greater than always been the same game. Just a different kind of goal. Legacy in motion." Months later, QX Mode collaborated with a global sportswear brand. The launch campaign featured Quincy juggling a football in slow motion, wearing a sleek jacket emblazoned with the words, "Style is how you score without touching the ball." He'd become more than a footballer or a fashion designer. He was a bridge between two worlds, between movement and art, between speed and style. And when fans saw him take the pitch again, hair sharp, boots gleaming, coat fluttering as he walked into the tunnel, they didn't just see a player. They saw Quincy Promes, the man who turned the beautiful game into the beautiful stitch.